Friday night, baby. Da-da-da-da. Come on, Jess.
Woohoo!
ALTBAYS Show brought to you by ALTBAYS.nz. Yes, show number 43. Wow, it's pretty good, eh? Coming to show number 50, we're gonna have some special things happening. And on Monday, Sandra Gaudi will be here, the mayor. How cool is that? I know, right?
Yeah. Very cool.
Some people
Very,
find
very
it cool, some people won't. Anyway, good chance to send her a question, ask her a question. So we'll be live streaming at 7 p.m. Subscribe to our channel, and you can send a question on the live chat. I'm sure she'll be very keen to answer a lot of questions from the audience. Okay? If you want to run your own podcast, or if you want to do some live meetings, you can rent this beautiful space. Do you like the studio, Jess?
Very cool.
Thank you very much.
First time here, it's very, very cool.
Thank you. You can rent this space, you can do your own show, or if you want us to produce and direct and give some ideas, we'll be happy to. We also do some video production services, so if you're looking into increasing your online presence with beautiful content, hit us up, ALTBAYS.nz. All right. You can also support our ALTBAYS clips, where we break down the interviews. So if you don't have time to listen to the whole thing, you can listen to the clips and see which ones you want to spend more time in. Okay, so ALTBAYS clips, subscribe to that channel too, so you support the bros. 13 weeks, I think.
13.
I think so. Hi, Christine.
Hello. It doesn't seem like that.
Does
You
it
know?
does
No,
it does it does it feel like more or less?
It feels like we've been doing this not forever, but it just feels normal,
That's good.
you know?
Yes.
But then it doesn't feel like we've had that many shows. I think because it's just normal.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the consistency, and maybe because you guys rotate as well. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I think I'm at least here once a week, except for when we were sick and stuff. But
Thank you so much, by the way.
that's all right. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy it.
How's your Friday going?
Good. Good so far.
The kids are good?
I hope so.
They're not here. I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
good.
my mother-in-law's
good.
problem
Oh,
tonight.
yeah. Shout out to the kids.
Yeah.
Kids
Be
run.
good for Granny.
Yes. Thank you. Christine, so I got something here.
An orange.
So for the people
Yeah, for everyone who is listening, it's a kiwi fruit.
Oh, thank you. Description is very important. So, this guy comes to me today, this friend of mine, with a bag of kiwi fruit, the gold kiwi fruits, for the people who are listening to this overseas and don't have this beautiful specialty here. It's a gold kiwi fruit. And he told me that it came from one of the packings or whatever in the area. And he said that there was like a big truck full of gold kiwi fruits that they don't sell because there's like a little spot or something all the way. I don't know, and I was just curious. And
Yeah,
he
'cause
said,
where's the spot, eh?
I know, right? It's a perfect, beautiful gold kiwi fruit. And he was telling me that a lot of fruits go on waste. And some of them they even give to cows. And I was just curious why we don't, I don't know, why we don't donate, or I don't know. So if for the people who have answers, we had Joanna Mannington coming on show number 6, and we talked about food waste in New Zealand. And it was a great show. So if you want to listen to that, and if you have an answer for me why I am eating this, and actually why other people are not having access
Why
to.
did I get a bag of free kiwi fruit?
Yeah, I know, right? So
Yeah.
expensive nowadays, and how ridiculous is the price of produce and fruits nowadays, eh?
Yeah, well,
Crazy.
you would think like
$4 a capsicum.
$4. What is
a
this?
single capsicum.
I know,
$4.
right?
Yeah.
So
Incredible.
just before we keep this going, what is this voice coming from the other
yeah.
side? Yeah, let's put Jess in the
Yes.
conversation.
Welcome.
So tonight with us, Jess Hamilton.
Yay.
$4, Jess,
For a capsicum.
for a capsicum.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Do you, in cabbage? Like, cabbage
just-
isn't that good, but it's so expensive.
So expensive.
Why?
Maybe because it comes from overseas, really far away, and it costs a lot to get here.
That's
I don't
one
know.
I don't
thing.
know.
Could be.
I don't know
'Cause
why
that-
it can't grow here.
That kiwi fruit looks like a big kiwi fruit, and I know they send
Yes.
most of the big, like the good, big ones overseas. you know, and they keep the ones that are half that size for the people in
For
New
us.
Zealand.
For
And
the
the
New
cows.
Zealanders. Yeah. And that's the thing, like apparently, as you just said, we send a lot of stuff to other
All the
countries.
best stuff
Yeah.
leave the country.
The best stuff. I remember a post, I think was in Australia. The price of kumara like was super cheap in Australia.
Crazy,
And
eh?
it was a time that like it was maybe like $12 the kg here in New Zealand, and I'm like, that
Well,
doesn't.
There's even like dairy products here. It's so expensive, and then Aussie it's cheap, but it's from here.
It's
just
produced
nuts,
here.
eh?
Mm.
Everything over in Aussie is quite cheap though, comparatively to
Yeah.
here. But I think the wage over there is quite a lot higher.
Right.
You get paid, you know, double time and a half, and
Yeah,
all
just
the
for
rest
working a weekend, which is standard here.
of it.
Right. So you lived in Australia for
I
a while,
did.
right?
I
Yeah.
did. I lived in Byron Bay.
Oh yeah, Byron Bay.
Isn't there like a reality TV program called like
Byron Bays. Yeah. I haven't
Byron
watched that,
Bays.
but I have.
maybe
I
you should
have
watch
heard
and be
about
like,
it.
whoa.
Have you watched it?
No, I haven't, but I just hearing Byron Bay, I'm like, Byron Bays.
There's a Do you guys know the In-Betweeners? Have you watched In-Betweeners?
Nah, I never
No.
watched that. Yes.
You
We're
gotta
miss-
watch
we're
it.
missing out.
So it's so funny.
Yeah. Oh,
They-
the second one.
Yeah, they base it in Australia, and then there's like a scene where they're at a hostel, and you can see the place where I used to work in the
Oh,
background of
really?
it. So cool. Every time I watch it, I'm like, yes, I worked there.
Yeah, like-
So is it like a reality show or it's
Nah,
no,
it's just like a comedy sort of.
Oh yeah, the
like
In-Betweeners
British.
is like a UK comedy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's real, like
It's-
derogatory.
Yeah.
Quite like it's quite funny, like quite dirty humor, but it's real funny.
Mm.
Yeah, very very cool, very cool.
Right, because probably the Byron Bays, I don't know, I'm just guessing. It might be about the lifestyle because
Could
I
be
think
like
someone
Laguna
told me
Beach or
about it.
something like
Is it
that.
like showing the hype and what's happening with
yeah,
their
probably.
Would be.
which is
Absolutely.
quite ridiculous, right? So apparently there's a lot of like Hollywood stars and
Oh, yeah.
rich people buying houses there. Is that right?
When I lived there, my flat, I think I'm allowed to tell this. My flatmate at the time she was doing like horse tricks on the beach. That was her job, and she had so they did sort of like, you know, kids riding lessons and stuff, and they had Chris Hemsworth's wife bring their kids down like most weeks to do horse riding lessons.
She's like, that's cool, but where's your husband?
Yeah, so she got to meet her name.
Who's
I think
the
her name's
husband?
Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, okay.
Thor?
Thor.
Plays Thor?
The what?
Thor. He plays
Oh,
Thor.
Thor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Thor.
Yeah.
There you go. There you
So
go.
she got to be
Go,
quite
go.
close. Well, not close, but no Elsa, I think her name is.
Right.
And then she ended up taking Chris Hemsworth and Matt Damon
Matt Damon.
on a horse
Random.
trip down the beach in Byron Bay.
Hey.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
so cool.
Yeah.
So, oh,
That's pretty cool.
it was very, very, very cool.
I visited Byron Bay.
Did you?
I went to see Juan.
Oh, very cool. Did you
Juanita.
like it?
I did. Yeah, I think I talked about this before here. What upset me a little bit was I went to Tasmania first, which was pretty cool. It was quite a different scenario. It was a little bit... It was beautiful, but it was just different from the rest of what I saw in Australia. I loved Melbourne, the culture, the places, the music. I found so many cool venues and art galleries and just
These are cool little bars.
funky
and,
people.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
whole description of Melbourne is exactly that, eh?
Yeah,
Like
is that right?
little bars and
Little
music
cafes
and
and all
art
sorts of cool
and
stuff.
nightlife and
I loved it. I loved it.
Street
But-
performers.
yeah,
Yes.
a lot of street
Yeah.
performers I've heard.
And
Yeah.
I remember this kind of like an alleyway or like full of graffitis. So like it was a
Yeah.
specific like this tiny streets and it was graffiti. Like there's graffiti everywhere, but this is specific like tiny streets, so beautiful. And I think they change it every now and then, so it's
Cool.
kind of like a spot for artists.
pretty
Anyway, and Byron Bay to see Juan, who we met. What? Wow, we're getting old ages. What 8 years
Oh,
ago maybe
long time
when
ago.
those guys were here? I would say
Yeah.
8 years. And it was humid, so it kind of reminded me of Brazil vibe. It was that heat that I was sweating, and I was like, "Oh, this is ridiculous."
Yeah.
I love it, but it's ridiculous, like hot,
not used to this
hot as
now.
hell. Yeah, like quite different from
Yeah.
New Zealand. But yes,
No, I feel like Byron Bay is really similar to here, but just more.
yeah.
Like it's a similar sort of
you,
surfy.
you
and-
mean the vibe?
yeah,
yeah, the vibe.
But
Yes.
just Byron Bay is there's a lot more going on, and you know a lot more bars and people, but it's just sort
So
of the
probably
same.
like here times 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more like people come from overseas, obviously, to visit Byron Bay and do
Yeah.
their whatever they have to do to get a visa and blah blah blah.
Mm.
Very cool though.
So what upset me as soon as I got there, I think the van stopped at a bus station, bus stop or something, and there were a lot of homeless,
Yep.
and I could tell that they were indigenous people. Like you could tell by the look, and it was just upsetting because that also reminded me of Brazil, which is not a great memory of like people ignoring.
Yeah.
You know, like
Look the other way, not my problem.
And carry on. Like, and I know, you know, like this how society is, blah blah blah. But like, you have an image of a place, you know, oh Byron Bay, cool, you know, like beautiful, woohoo, Byron Bays, and then it's not like that.
No,
you know,
not at all.
Yeah, so like that was the first impression as soon as I got there, and I'm like, okay, cool. There's some reality going on here. So it was interesting. It was good to pick up that vibe, that part of the thing. How long were you there for?
I think it was about 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been more, nearly 3. Yeah, nearly 3 years.
What took you over there?
So before I left, I was seeing a guy from France, and I planned to move over there and sort of stay with him and blah, blah, blah. But we ended up breaking up just beforehand, unfortunately. So some friends of mine were living in Byron Bay, and I said to them, like, look, this is my plan and this is what's happened. And they were like, well, why don't you just come over and, you know, we've got a spare room and blah, blah, blah. So that's what ended up happening. So I moved over and I lived in a hostel for a little while because we were waiting for our house, you know, because there was a spare room, but we were waiting. So I lived in a hostel for, might have been like 2 months, and it was the time of my life.
Yeah.
I had the best time, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never done the hostel thing before moving over there.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, I don't know about that. But it was so much fun. Like I made so many friends.
Yeah.
Just had the best time.
So for the people who don't travel much, because our audience is quite diverse, what is the vibe of a hostel in a place like Byron Bay, or even here in the Coromandel when it's summer and it's pumping? Like what happens in a hostel that it makes it so much fun? Say the things that you can say.
Everyone will be like young in your age. Yeah.
Share the things you can share. Jess,
I
you feel
just think
appropriate.
it's like when you have a sleepover with all your pals.
It's a cool sleep.
You know,
Yeah.
but you're in a bunk bed and they just, you know, it's just cool when like everybody's goes, you know, what are you doing tonight? Should we go to this bar? And then we all just get ready and go walk down together, and then everybody goes home or doesn't go home, you know, and it's just so much fun. And those like, you know, communal cooking kitchens, I should say, and then, you know, you cook dinner with all your pals.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And then you check what the other person is cooking. You have a
It's
look.
just so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, and I'd never done it before, so I was like, well, this is real foreign to me. But the room I ended up staying in was just full of really nice people, and I
Are
think
they
they
like
were,
co-ed rooms or was like?
yeah, they
just-
were.
Oh.
They were. Yeah, so
Yeah.
boys and girls,
Right.
which was real cool. Really, really fun.
I have a story. I have a
And I'm gonna
story.
stop there.
I have a story, Christine. I think it's okay to share. I think it's suitable-ish
Okay. Yeah.
for the time, for 7 p.m. So I met this girl, and she was traveling with a friend, and her friend was not happy at all. And I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? She was like, oh, no. And then I dug a little bit, and she was like, well, we came to the hostel last night, and they were in the mixed bedrooms because, you know, usually, as you said, you know, female, male, but sometimes you have to go to the mixed one.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's cheaper, or sometimes it's what's left. And they were sleeping, and she said that she heard someone opening the door, and she could hear the guy. He was like, no, I'm tired now. I'm just gonna go to bed. I just have to use the toilet first, but I need to go to bed. So like, okay, and then silence. And then the girl just listened. The guy was peeing in the bedroom, but it wasn't going in the girl in the bunk bed in the bottom one, and her friends were sleeping, and she didn't notice.
Oh my
so
goodness.
she told the guy, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then her friends woke up, and she realized what was happening.
Oh my god.
So
That is not where I saw the story going.
I'm
No,
sorry.
me either. No,
I was
me
thinking.
neither.
So she was
Yeah,
not
my brain
happy.
went to the gutter. Like,
Nah, yeah, she didn't even ask. The guy just peed him.
if she had asked, it'd have been fine.
Anyway,
Oh my god.
Hostel Stories, ALTBAYS Show, 43. There you go. So, do you have a good story from experience in the hostel? A good one to share that no one peed on anyone?
At 7 o'clock in the evening.
I don't know if I honestly don't know if I've got any stories that would be
Appropriate.
appropriate
Okay.
Damn.
for this time
Okay.
of the evening. I mean, I remember like my most memory is getting in bed and there always being sand in my bed.
Great.
Like, because it was right in front of the beach. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
is that from me?
20 metres away, the beach was right there. But I honestly don't think there's any stories that I have that would be
Okay, fine.
Appropriate. Yeah.
And then coming back to New Zealand after those two years and a half away, what was the vibe? Did you feel like, hey, home? Yeah, this is.
Well, so I came back because I planned to join the police force. Was my ambition for coming back, which I never ended up doing. Which is on my to-do list for the next couple of years. But that's why I came back, and I ended up, you know, just doing other stuff, working in a cafe and and then
And here you are.
here I am.
And then you were like, I might as well start riding bikes. And
well, it didn't start like that.
didn't start like that?
No. So
Mm.
my partner, my current partner, we lived on a dairy farm actually, and then he said to me one day, "Do you want to learn how to ride it's like a little, I don't know, 100cc or 125cc farm bike?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not? Like, I'll give it a go. Like, that seems cool. Like, it won't be that hard, surely." And I tried to do it, and I hated it. Absolutely,
Yeah.
I hated
Was it the first time you had to go on a motorbike?
I did it a bit when I was younger, and I didn't like it then either. So I was like, I'll try it again, surely fine. Nah, hated it. I was like, nah, get me off, I hate this. And then, what did we do? Oh, we moved off the farm and we moved into town, and we were staying with a guy who, he had a bike himself, and then he had like a big shed, and he was looking after his friends' bikes. And then my partner ended up getting I can't remember what it was some sort of bike. And I was like, oh, that's real cool, I'll give that a go. And then I ended up really liking it. So it wasn't like a farm bike, it was like a road bike.
Yeah.
So I ended up giving that a go, and because I was like, that looks cool, like I'd look really cool riding that. So yeah, I gave it a go and I really liked it, but I still wasn't very good. So I just practiced for a while, and I think it was like a 600cc, which is pretty big,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
to learn to ride on the road. And then I ended up getting my first bike, which was a little 250cc Yamaha thing, which was so cool. Like I loved that bike. And then I sold it, and I didn't have a bike for a long time, like maybe 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
And then the bike I've got now, I saw it come up for sale, and I couldn't afford it, I think, at the time. I didn't buy
Which
it.
bike?
I've
What
got
do you
a
have now?
I've got a Harley Sportster, 883
Ooh-wee.
Sportster. Yeah,
Nice.
2007. It's very, very, very cool. So it's my
Nice.
first Harley. So the guy was selling it because he had I think a Harley as well, or a big bike, and he like crashed it and rode it off. And this was his wife's bike, and she wouldn't go riding by herself. So I went to look at it, and unfortunately I couldn't afford it at the time. And then I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was just working, and then I went back to look again, and because he still hadn't sold it, and I had a certain amount of money on me, and I was like, look, this is what I've got.
Come
if
on,
you
man.
sell it to me for this much, I'll take it. And he was like, yeah, take it. So
Oh,
Man,
yeah,
I should have asked before.
yeah, which was like, I was really stoked because I got it for a good price. So
Sweet.
yeah, and then
How much does it cost? Like a new one, a brand new, like 2022, and like a 12-year, 15-year-old one? Because I have no clue. I'm legitimately not even aware of it.
I mean,
Or it depends on the condition of the bike?
Well, a brand new one, maybe like a 1200 Harley, 1200cc Harley is probably 25, 20,
Is it?
20 25,000. Yeah,
I
a
always
brand
thought it
new
would
though.
be like
I mean, you say,
much
that's
more.
not much,
No.
but that's
It's a-
a lot
it's a-
for...
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot of money for something that you don't ride every day. You know, like if you're not
Yeah.
going to smash it every day,
Yeah.
that's quite a lot of money. Like I would probably ride my bike like twice a month,
Yeah.
which is not
Yeah,
much.
yeah, yeah.
But I think for like a bike that's, I don't know, say my bike would probably be 7,000, 8,000.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, would be what you'd pay for my bike.
Is it a heavy
not-
bike? I always had that
Yeah.
impression that it's a heavy thing to or not, you get used to it.
You get you. I mean, my bike's I think about 220 kilos, which is not. I mean, like it's not that much. Like when
Yeah.
you're on it, you don't notice.
Right.
You don't like you don't notice the
Yeah.
weight because it just sort of, does its
It
thing.
rolls, yeah.
Yeah. Like I've never dropped it. Like I feel like if I dropped it on the ground, I wouldn't be able to pick it up.
Right.
But like when I straddle it, I can just hold it up nice and easy.
I always think that, like, when you see female bikers, and you know how they've got, like, the leather boots and they've got a little bit of a heel?
Yeah.
It's like, I can barely walk with the heel, but they're holding up this whole bike. You know what I mean? They put their foot down, their whole body's holding up a whole bike. Yeah. That's
So-
going to be hard.
It seems to me like, again, because I haven't got a clue about how to ride a motorbike, but every time that I see here in Whitianga, there's like the bikers coming to town, all noisy and like all following each other, and there's the thing with the style, right?
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
if you see the guy just having a meal, Uncle John having a meal, you know, bacon and eggs, and the next minute he's fucking on the Harley Davidson with the spiky helmet, like the Gucci, and like wild, back to bacon and eggs, but like, you know, so there's this thing with the style, right?
Yeah.
With the motorbike, like.
And they know they look cool too as well.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Right?
Were you into
Absolutely.
that straight away? Like, I want my jackets.
Yeah.
I want,
100%. So when I first got my bike, I couldn't afford, you know, nice leathers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I wore like my partner's jacket, which he's a big boy, so it was like way too big for me, and I was wearing like hoary ass boots and whatever. But now I've got like, I should have worn it. I've got a really cool jacket actually that I got gifted for my birthday.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's very, very, very cool. And I've got some like pink boots that I wear, and my
nice.
yeah, my helmet's got like cat ears on it. Like, it's real cool.
Oh, so
Like,
everyone's going to see you when you're on your bike. They're like,
Yeah.
pictures.
That's Jess.
Yeah. So I either wear my pink boots or I wear my black boots with like pink socks. But
Yeah.
I always try and make sure, because when you're riding a bike, it's pretty scary. Like, people sort of don't really pay much attention. You know, like we were riding, there's a big straight in between, somewhere between like Thames and Auckland, that we were going for a ride maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was in the front. So we're coming along, and there's a line of cars coming towards us, and there was a guy who, they'd have been 100 metres away. He just pulled straight out and like straight towards me, you know, and he obviously thought he could make it.
Yeah.
But I had to like pull right off the road, and there's like all these bikes behind me. So everybody's like, you know, pulling the fingers at him, but he just like straight out didn't even look, like,
Just go.
lucky he made it in and didn't you know, smoke all of us.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I
Yeah.
mean, all of you guys versus a car, he's going to win anyway. So
Second best every time. Like, there's just no way. Like, I would have, if he had hit me, I would have gone.
When you go on a trip, do you usually go with your partner, or like you guys like the group thing? You
Yeah.
get together with a group. So
Yeah.
what's the usual?
So there's a few guys who go sort of, I think it was last weekend they went, and then every fortnight we meet up at Highworks and we just go for a ride around wherever we go. But I don't usually like to ride by myself. It'll either be me in a group or me and my partner in a group or whatever. I wouldn't go out by myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you also have like just a normal, ordinary one to do your daily thing? Like, would you ride a bike just?
I would probably
as a
just
car?
ride
Would be-
that bike I have.
Right.
Yeah.
Would be what I would ride. But
You still got a car.
yeah. It's pretty
yeah.
expensive though, having a bike. Like, I think Rego is $580 for a year.
yeah.
So compared to a car, which is like $100, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might sound very ignorant, the questions that I'm gonna ask you, but I don't know. Is it normal petrol? Is like 91 or what's
You could. I wouldn't put 91 in my bike. I just, you know, the 98 and the 95 are just a better quality.
right?
So that, you know, just keep
yeah,
the bike running nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey,
Is it expensive to be insured for a bike? Like,
I actually don't
Just
know.
so
I don't have insurance on my bike.
Jess.
What the-
Come on.
I know. I don't think so though.
because I would, like, I guess with the, you know, the image of bike is like you're saying, that they would be like, oh, you're more of a liability because you're a biker.
I would
maybe?
assume so.
I don't know.
I think that's why the Rego is so high. Like, the ACC
Yeah.
levy is real high because obviously it's a lot less safe than
I
being
mean,
in a car.
really, it's the drivers
Totally.
in the vehicle.
Totally.
Yeah. In Brazil, it's 200 million people in the country, 12 million people. Yeah, it's
Insane.
200 million and 11 at the moment. 211 million people. Yeah. Anyway, 12 million people in the city where I'm from, São Paulo. So bikers, they do the runs for everybody. You know, like gotta send a letter, gotta send. So they. The middle lane, so let's say like in New Zealand you have the two lanes and then there's the white things dividing them. In Brazil that's a lane for
Motorcycles.
the bikers pretty much.
Wow.
You know,
Wait, what's
Oh.
the speed limit in Brazil? Like,
it depends, Taylor. It depends on the region, depends where you are. Like most of the highways, I think they will be 60.
like not
Wow.
that's
Like
miles,
like
eh?
the case.
Oh,
So like,
Feisty.
yeah, it's quite, yeah. And but then like you of course, when you get to the open roads like the like South highways or whatever, like
Yeah.
if it was, I think you can get up to 128, Taylor. It used to be some of them are 120. So like it depends on the region, depends where you are. But that's the thing, like there's a lot of traffic, obviously.
Yeah,
you know, like
can
so
you
when,
even get to 120?
so when you're in
200 million people.
So when you're in the
Yeah.
city, like the bikers kind of take over.
Yeah, lane splitting. I suppose they're straight up the middle.
And like you know it's quite like, it's for me, I will say that it's scary because I would drive a car, but I understand the biker freaking out because, as you said, you know, people don't give a damn, you know, like they just turn, they just do the thing, they take that middle lane. But what they do, like they're very close to each other, you know, like because there was statistics that like at least one a day would die in Sao Paulo.
Wow.
Jeez.
So if something happens, they're together, you know.
Yeah.
But you know what was very common? So if you make a bad move and you kind of get on their lane, they would raise their legs to
Really?
kick the rear view mirror of the cars. And another thing
Wow.
that happened to me once, the guy
It kicked you, your car.
I've seen it,
Oh.
and it's common. But what happened to me was the guy, I thought I would have time to get to the other lane because it was probably like a 4-lane street. So I signed, and then I looked, and I thought I could go, but there was a bike coming, so I kind of went back. But
Yeah.
of course, I freaked him out, you know, because he was
Yeah.
not expecting.
Yeah.
So he very quickly took his helmet off, smashed my rear view mirror, and popped the helmet back on.
No.
Yeah, it is a thing.
And how do you do that with one hand? Like,
Oh.
you know, you still got to speed.
Yeah. I'm not joking. Like
Yeah.
it is a thing. It is a thing. So that's one of the reasons why
Oh.
I never got into bikes, because it's a bit of a like, oh, you know, gotta be careful. Like of course
Yeah.
a lot of people do it very safely. But I remember my mom, you're not gonna get in a motorbike. That's dangerous. You're not gonna do that. And I'm like, come on.
My mum was the same too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is she all right now?
She's all right now. I've taken her for a couple of rides on my bike.
Oh, sweet.
Which she did.
Yeah.
She was kind of about it.
Boy, I love it, but
Yeah.
Because of you riding, or because
I try and ride pretty safe, but I mean sometimes we just go a little bit fast. But you know, I'm usually pretty safe. Like we went for a
Usually.
ride.
she's
Most
honest.
of
I
the
like
time.
it, Jess. Honesty is good.
yeah.
We went for a ride. It would have been a while ago now, but we were going up the Aotearoa hill, and there's like a little pullover area for the slow traffic. So a guy pulled in, and then there was a bike in front of me. So the guy sort of pulled over, and the bike in front of me went to pass, and then this guy pulling in mustn't have realised the slow lane was finishing. So he was still driving, so he pulls back out. So the guy on this bike has to make space, and he goes over and goes past the centre line and hits a camper van. And this is the guy right in front of me. So I was actually a couple of cars back, so I came around the corner and I was like, what's all this stuff all over the road? There was like plastic and
Yeah.
you know, stuff everywhere, because we heard a loud noise, but I thought it was just like someone's bike backfiring. But I came around the corner and I saw this and I was like, what's going on? And then, you know, a pal of mine was in the middle of the road and his bike was all upside down, and it was horrific.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. So ever since then I've sort of been a bit more cautious, just because, you know, he's been riding
Yeah.
for longer than I've been alive,
Yeah.
and you know, something like that happened to him. So, you know, I haven't been riding for that long, so I've got to just be a little bit more cautious. you know?
Yeah. Are you into it, Christine?
No.
Not your thing.
No. Like, I appreciate it, but not for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
I think
Totally fair.
I'm just chicken. Hello. But yeah. I don't know. It's just so I would give, you know how they've got the cool electric ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that because
Cool.
it's electric, and I guess you can only get to a certain speed, but not a motor one. That just seems too many things
Yeah,
going
A
on.
lot going on.
Yeah.
So how fast can a Harley go?
Or how
in-
fast
in a-
have you done your Harley?
How fast have I gone?
Mom,
Oh.
turn it off.
Yeah, flip
Now
off,
is the
Mum.
I
time,
think
Mom.
she might be
Give it-
watching too.
I'm sure she is. There you go, Mom.
Yeah.
That's for you.
She's probably sitting forward like, how fast have you
Yeah.
gone?
Oh, I think probably. Oh,
Oh, nothing more than the speed limit, obviously.
yeah. Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Uh-huh. But like on a farm or something, if you have the
Yeah.
opportunity to go a little bit faster, would it get to what would you say? Like a
Do you mean my
Harley?
bike personally,
Yeah.
or
You on
so
your
my
bike, yeah.
bike? I've probably got 90 miles an hour, which is pretty fast. Like 60 miles is 100. So that's
it can go.
quite high.
Yeah.
But like I try to be super safe. Like I try to not
Well, it's about the
while going 90 miles an
Yeah,
hour.
cruising,
Yeah.
right? You know, that's the beauty of it,
Yeah,
isn't
I do
it? Like,
everything to
enjoy
avoid
the-
getting the speed wobbles.
Yeah. Again, another question that might sound like ignorance, but apparently there are no bad questions. Can you listen to me? Can you use earplugs when you're riding?
Earplugs.
Like
Like
for
AirPods or
music,
something.
like AirPods or something. Can you?
I think you probably could.
But
You
you
just
wouldn't want
won't
to?
listen to it, eh? Nah.
I wouldn't, because you've got to concentrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've got to, like you've got to watch the road, and in a car, if you hit a little pothole, it's not a big deal. But if you hit a pothole on a
On a
bike,
bike.
it's
Yeah.
I think
know.
it's even the same for people in the car when you see them with like full on noise cancelling headphones.
Not good.
I'm like,
pretty scary.
yeah, because people could toot at you or
I thought
you
it was
could clip
illegal.
someone. I
I
don't
thought-
know. No, I see it all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Like I think you can get like things that you put in your bike so you can talk to your partner. Like say if your partner's riding behind you, you can get like a little Bluetooth jobby that you
Yeah.
can speak to them.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that plays the radio or whatever. But I
Yeah, because it would it be something that do you talk, like if you could dip, would it be something you talk the whole time?
think
or-
so. Yeah, I think it's
Oh.
like constant, just the whole trip. As long as you don't get too far apart, then it would just stay
Yeah.
in contact the whole time.
Yeah. I think that would be the hardest for me. Hardest thing for me riding a bike is if like, you know, you're at the front, someone's at the back, you're like, I've got something to tell them. I've got something to yeah.
It has to be right now.
It has to be right now. I need to tell them something right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna forget it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing for me is when we go riding and we're going somewhere that I don't know the place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, what if everyone goes and I don't know where to turn, and then I'm gonna get lost and I'm gonna
Yeah.
be by myself. Like I just freak out. But usually everybody sort of stops at like Aotearoa and then the next place so nobody gets lost. But it's always like such a
Yeah.
oh
That'd
God,
be
I'm
me.
gonna be by myself. Oh no, like freaking out.
Do you feel like it's a welcoming community? Like you have Facebook groups and like tell me a little bit about like the commune, you know, like the people getting together to do that. How is that in New Zealand?
I think it's well. I mean, I can't really. Well, I don't really know too much because I'm pretty new to bikes myself. Like I've only been riding for probably 2 years. But like the group that we go with, they're super lovely. Like everybody's so nice, and you know, if I'm doing something wrong, they'll be like, well, there's one guy, Stumpy, who we go riding with. He'll be like, you know, you're doing great, but maybe just instead of doing this, do this. And yeah, super nice. Like I don't know. I don't speak for the whole country.
But how you feel about
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I think so. I love taking my bike out. Like I just think it's the coolest thing. And like when you see other people on their bikes and you just give them a little wave, and it's just the coolest.
Yeah.
And like when we go riding, we normally stop at like a pub and then a cafe and whatever. And there's always heaps of bikes there, and you just yarn with people about their bikes, and they want to know where you're from, and yeah, very, very cool.
Nice,
Very
nice.
cool.
I ask because there's this thing of also gangs and there's a
Yeah.
lot of other connotations, there's a lot of other
Absolutely.
things that people connect with. So does that bother you in a way, like?
No, I mean, not me. Like I can understand that people have reservations about, bikes and gangs and da-da-da-da-da, but I mean, you can obviously, it's hard to keep them separate because obviously they are such a conjoined thing, and when you see a gang on a pack of motorcycles, you think, oh God, I'll stay away from them.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard, really. I don't really, like, I want to ride my bike with my pals and
Do
have a
your
good
thing.
time.
Yeah.
But I did see, we went for a ride and there was like a group of maybe 300 bikes, and they were predominantly gang members, but they were doing a charity ride, so they all put in money for, I can't remember the charity, but like they were doing a good thing.
Yeah.
So it's, it's not all bad. Like it's not all bad.
And it's such a tricky one, isn't it? Because you will see people demonizing gangs on the
Absolutely.
television, like, oh, gangs. But like, everybody's part of the community, it's a society.
Yeah.
There must be a problem why, it carries on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not many people want to address those problems and communicate. You know, like it's very, again, like I mentioned Brazil a lot because it's my cultural background, you know, but like it's the same with the favelas, you know, the slums. People like where people build those houses on like hills, they're like very, like they don't have sewage or anything, you know, like people straight away connect with thieves and, you know, people who, but then you go there, it's a lot of community
I bet
work.
they're the nicest people you'd ever meet.
Man, you know, people getting together, doing things, you know, like, so I'm always very careful when people mention gang members, especially like sometimes at school or young people like wearing, you can tell that they're kind of like making a reference with a collar or something. And then you're like, well, we all look for that. We all look for a connection, for a hub, you know. Some people connect with the people at the church. Some people connect with the bikers. If your reality is the gang is what's happening at home.
Especially when you're brought up with it, what else do you know?
What else do you know?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm always up for a conversation about those subjects, you know, like, because it's easy to say, those guys. And you're like, well, they might be doing cool things for the community and you don't even know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know,
It's like a guy that I know. He's quite a big, stocky Maori guy, and he's got his whole face tattooed in like a tamoko, like his whole face, and he looks like he's like a scary man.
Gonna get you, man.
But he's the nicest person I've
as
ever
soon
met.
as they speak, you're like,
That would do anything for anybody.
Yeah.
But like people would probably be a bit scared of him because he looks a bit, you know, a bit whatever.
do you feel like that as well when you've got like your leathers on, you roll up in a bike gang and everyone, do you feel people a
Especially
little bit
because I've got a lot
intimidated?
of tattoos myself.
Yeah.
So for the people listening to this show, is there
tatted.
any more space on your arms, Jess? It's
I've got
looking
a little
beautiful.
bit left up here and under here.
Yeah.
A little bit left.
Is it just your arms you've got sleeves?
Oh, I've got my legs, some on my legs, some on my front, down my back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
a
many?
lot.
Oh, you
Oh.
forgot. Gone.
70, 80 maybe. A lot.
Hey.
Too many.
Okay. So talk about the way that people see you, and then we go back to the tattoos.
Well, I
because
think
that's
it's like people would look at me and think, "Whoa, she's got lots of tattoos." But I think I'm pretty approachable. I'll talk to anybody. I'll have a conversation with anyone.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing. Like it's all in the way you are. You know, if I was like really rude to someone and I looked the way I look, they'd probably be like, "Oh God." But I try not to be like that.
Yeah.
Have you suffered anything like that? Any looks?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I would think
Absolutely.
that because New Zealand has it as a cultural thing, you know, like for the Maori people, it's just part of what it is. It's
Yeah.
cultural. And then I always had this impression, and you see police officers
Yeah.
with tattoos,
Yeah.
you know. So I always had that thing of like, this is cool, this is progressive, but
Yeah.
not for
Well,
everybody. Sometimes, maybe.
I hate to say it, but I think like the older generation, they don't really vibe with tattoos, which is totally
It's
fine.
not even
'cause-
tattoos though. They comment on your hair color if it's not your natural.
Yeah,
Like
literally.
doesn't matter if it,
literally.
yeah.
So I think that's probably where I would get the most like looks. I
The
would
looks,
say,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
just
yeah.
a bit of a side eye.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't really, because I've had them for years, so it doesn't really bother me. Like I would look in the mirror and I wouldn't even notice them now, you know, because I've just had them for so many years.
Yeah.
How old were you when you got your first one?
16.
16.
Yeah, my 16th birthday.
Which one?
Oh, it's pretty bad, this one here. What do you think that says?
Wait, move your mic a bit.
Come on, Christine,
It's
help me.
just, no.
Life's too short.
Life's too
Oh,
short.
well
yeah.
done.
Life's too
Not
short.
like life's
The foreigner got it,
Although,
guys.
I did think the last word said ghost,
Ghost?
and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's pretty cool. What's it
Life's
say?
too ghost.
Yeah.
That's what I get all the time. So that was my
That's
first
cool,
one.
Jess.
So I went with my mum on my 16th birthday, and I remember her being like,
Shout
when
out to
you-
mum.
when you regret this, I'm going to tell you I told you so. Rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
So-
You're like, don't get covered. Get a bigger one.
And you're still alive, you know? It's not
No,
even
man.
that short. It's
No.
good on you.
Yeah. Doing well so far.
And from there, from 16, it was just like non-stop.
I think yeah.
Once
Did you
get
have
one,
that in
it's
mind?
addictive. It's
Oh.
addictive.
Did you have it in mind when you were 16? You were like, I just want to cover myself in this. Nah.
It just happened.
Yeah.
I think I went when I turned 17. I went probably like every month, once a month
So
to
you
get
knew
a tattoo.
it. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bad.
That's the
So
thing though,
bad.
it's like, please stay expensive
not
so that
bad.
I don't
Oh.
get covered. Because
Oh.
if you were cheap and affordable, me.
Literally, everybody
Yeah.
would do it.
Yeah.
And what about choosing them? Because some people are very precious. Some people are just like, that's what I want. I don't care. It's
That
a
was
bit-
me when
Yeah.
I was young. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'll do that. But
Yeah.
I wish I had have. I wish I had thought about it maybe a little bit more. Like
Yeah.
now that I'm older, I haven't. Well, the last tattoo I got was all this through here.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Um,
When was that?
this was probably maybe a year ago.
Mm.
Yeah.
Local?
Yeah, a guy called Paul Collier. I don't know if you guys know
Paul
Paul
Collier.
Collier. He used to work at
Yeah.
Evolution in town, but he's now moved over to Bohemian over in Tauranga.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, cool.
He's a cool
It's
guy.
Yeah.
He does a good
beautiful,
job.
No, I think everyone's got at least 1 or 2 tattoos where they're like, yeah, chuck it on.
Yeah, that was.
I've got
Yep.
at least 2,
Yeah,
maybe
me too.
3.
I'm
So-
on it too.
When you were talking about your kiwi fruit before, it reminded me of when Kelly
Kelly.
and I.
I would bring that up. The shared tattoo.
So when it was my birthday and she was like, "Oh, what should we do?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And she said, "Should we get a matching tattoo?" And so we used to like eat avocados together all the time. So we got a matching tattoo of an avocado. So she's got one half and
Yeah.
I've got the other half.
Oh, that's cute though. I like
Oh.
that. At least you got a cool story to it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably like my most meaningful tattoo that I've
Yeah.
got. Like,
Is
Who's
a
got the
random-
pit?
oh, I can't remember. I think she's. I think
Can't
she's.
remember, Jess.
You're like,
I think she's got the pit. I think.
yeah.
We're not gonna ask you to show. It's all right. You
I
find out
can
later.
if you want.
Yes, please.
Okay, I kind of do, yeah.
Of
Where should
course.
I go for? Here?
This one is
Yeah.
yours. Taylor will tell you, and the boys will tell you.
I think it's on.
Open camera or this one, Taylor?
Can you see it?
Holy heck.
Hey, can you see it from there?
Can you see
You
it?
guys?
Yeah.
Oh, down. Over here.
Oh yeah, look at that. Boom, zoom.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So,
And it's in colour. Nice.
yeah.
Ah,
So
and
that
Kelly's got the other half.
Yeah. So
And
that was,
hopefully
There you
the
go,
pit.
Kelly.
hopefully, well, I think that's. Did they have a pip? I can't.
No, yours didn't.
No,
Oh, perfect. So she must have the pip.
she's
then.
got the pit.
Yeah.
Did it hurt? There, it looks like a bit of a sensitive
Yeah.
spot. Yeah.
Where's the
Yeah.
sorest?
Ooh.
Where's the sorest for
Probably
you?
the tops of my feet.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got one on the top of my foot, and it was so sore. I felt like I was like, I'm going to kick you in the
Yeah.
face.
Or like I've got one up here,
Yeah.
which is like quite bad too,
Yeah.
and like along,
And see, I thought fingers would be sore, but the foot was way worse.
and in here.
Oh, Jess.
Oh, I've had I haven't had
So
the
Jess
palm
is showing me
thing.
the palms of her hands, guys, for the people listening.
How old are
listening
those
to us.
ones?
High five.
I think. Oh, this one's quite old.
Yeah, I had
Maybe 2 or 3
I had
years.
my fingertips. My first ones were my thumbs. I had 2 smiley
Really?
faces.
and they're
but-
gone.
Yeah, obviously they wash off because you wash your hands often. And I guess
Yeah,
you're
use
in
your
sheds and whatnot. But
Yeah.
that wasn't sore. It was ticklish. Ticklish. It was a weird sensation getting your thumbs tattooed.
Ooh,
Shit.
Yeah.
Braver
No,
than
not
me.
sore. Not sore.
not sore.
It just like on
yeah,
your
yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry, just scratch you real quick.
Any other matching tattoos, or that was the one?
No. Oh, actually, so my Paul Collier, who we were speaking about earlier, we did this little. This is like a symbol that they use in like mental health awareness.
Yeah.
This symbol here. So he did one on me. This is semicolon. So he did one on me, and I got to tattoo one on him,
Oh, cool.
which is really cool. Like it was the first time I've done a little tattoo, and it was really hard.
Yeah.
Like I was like, how hard do I push down? Like,
I was
You're like,
yeah.
he was probably watching you like,
What are you doing?
I was about to ask that. Have you ever got into giving it a go? Did you think about it?
Nah, I did this little one, like this one on him, and it was horrific. Like it was just so bad. It looks so bad now. Like it's bled out everywhere. It's so bad.
you're like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Oh, it would take so much practice. I have so much appreciation for a tattoo
Yeah.
artist. Like it
Yeah,
just
it's a
looks
good
so
job.
hard.
I know,
Were
and
you-
when you get tattoos and they're not sore, you're like,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
Were you always lucky with the posts, like the time after getting the tattoo? Because some people get the information, some people get
Yeah.
the. Were you always okay?
Yeah. Usually fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you sort of kind of get used to it. It just kind of feels like I don't. Have you got any tattoos?
Yeah. The
You know
back,
how
yeah,
it
my
sort of just gets a bit itchy and then
Yeah,
flakes
yeah.
off and then
Yeah.
you know you're all done.
I think only the hand ones I was most worried about. And I was like, don't touch them, don't. But
yeah,
you're like,
don't get gross
yeah, don't
stuff
get
on
yucky.
them. And, yeah.
But you never like thought about, yeah, I'll give this a go. Maybe a career would be cool. I'm
Nah.
already into it anyway.
I quite like drawing and artsy sort of kind of things, but nah. I mean, I thought about it, but nah, it's not really for me.
You studied in Whitianga, Magri Bay Area School.
Yep, sure did.
How do they call it? Lifer? Were you like?
Yep,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was. Yep.
Hey, so what does a lifer mean for the people who?
So when you start school in Whirianga, and then you do your whole schooling. Like you don't, you know, leave and go back or anything. You just do your whole lot of schooling. So I think it's from does it start in year 5? Year 5 up to year 12.
Year 1.
Year 1?
5-year-olds.
Oh,
year
5-year-old.
1, yeah.
5 years
I was like, wait.
Year 1. Year 1 up to year 12 when you do your whole stretch. In Whirianga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you good at school?
I was alright at school.
Was it alright?
I think I was pretty. I mean, I got all of my what do you call them?
Credits,
Certificates
whatever,
and
yeah.
stuff. I did all the stuff I needed to do. I was alright.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I see now some of the teachers that I had at school when they're still there, and I'm like, oh, how was I as a student? They're like, yeah, you were alright, you were fine.
Yeah.
I'm like,
What subjects did you choose when you had the chance at like those last years that you can kind of don't remember?
oh, it was a long time ago. I think I honestly couldn't even tell you. Maybe
I'm always curious because sometimes people ask, you know, like for the children, oh, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? And it feels like not an obligation, but like it feels like what you choose at that time it will lead.
Yeah. Where did you go?
Yeah. But not your thing.
I should have probably been, because I do want to join the police, but I was researching about it, and you don't really need anything more than just your normal stuff that your normal stuff. You don't need anything extra to join the police force, because you do all your pre-studying. So you'd go and do I think it's like a 12-week course, yeah, and then you get selected to join whatever part of the police force you want to go for, and then you just go from there.
It's just more the physical side which everyone sort of trains for, isn't it? Because I can't remember how many minutes you have to get this running, but that's like the main thing that everyone goes for.
You got to be super fit. Well, you don't have to be super fit, but you've got to
be ready.
There's a run you have to do to get through.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
What are the main differences, because you've been here for so long? Like, what do you remember clearly that is so different from when you were a teenager and what's happening now in this town?
I think the school's a lot bigger. It's one of the main things. Like,
it keeps
I noticed,
expanding. It's really cool.
They've put in a lot of extra buildings.
I think 1,100 students at the moment.
Holy
Pretty
heck,
sure.
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was only maybe 600 or 700 when I was there.
That's still a lot, isn't it?
Still a lot of students,
Still a
though.
lot.
So how not asking your age, but how long ago were you at school?
Oh God, it'd be 10 years, 11 years.
Yeah. And you can tell big differences from.
Yeah.
What about in town? What about Whirianga? Do you remember like before the waterways and
I remember when you go past the school, so coming from town, you go past the school. There used to be a bridge there. Like you go right down the end, you know how the waterways comes in?
Yeah.
Used to be a bridge there.
Yeah.
And you used to be able to drive over there and go into the Moai Park area.
Right.
Yeah. Like a long time ago.
Well,
So can you not get to that way now?
Nah.
Do you have to go back past
You
Mobile
go-
and stuff to get more?
Yeah.
Because I always wonder, because obviously I'm not from here, but I don't drive around there often, but I did think, is there another way to get here from town?
there used to be a bridge, but obviously they had to get rid of it.
I
so-
heard many people saying how it changed the evacuation system for the school.
Yeah, because you got to go.
Oh man,
detour.
it's a long walk, bro. And every time that I'm doing that walk, and I'm like, thank God there's not a wave coming here right now, man. God damn it.
Yeah.
It's like you only needed the
Yeah.
come on, kids.
Yeah.
Don't run.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
I
Like,
can tell you, I would be running if there was
there you go,
tsunami
Papa.
coming.
That's for you.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Oh.
God damn, run. Yeah, but
I
it's
would not be walking.
Like,
it's
sorry,
a
kids,
long
I'm out.
walk, man.
Yeah.
It's a long
See ya.
walk, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the
I know, 'cause
mathematics are
they have
on
little
that.
like not babies, but like 5-year-olds. They don't exactly walk very fast or far.
Oh man,
Yeah, not really.
Yeah.
they'd have to get the notification in quick, smart.
Yeah.
Evacuating a whole school must be such a.
I would literally just put like 20 kids in my car and be like,
Yeah.
come on, let's go.
Man, shout out to those teachers, because
Yeah.
like they get organized so quickly,
Yeah.
and it's
Oh.
like I've seen it. I've been to a couple of drills, but I think that was one that we actually had. That one that was a morning one. Remember what? Maybe
Not long ago, was it?
Not long ago.
Like
1
actual
year.
warning.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
man, we moved quickly, and it's pretty efficient. I'm not saying that it's like inefficient, but it just looks a bit of a mission. You're like, wow, this is a stretch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder what the parents feel like, because my son goes to kindy here, and on their wall they have the evacuation like point, and they're like, we pretty much should chuck all the kids in the car and we go up this hill.
Mm.
And I'm like, perfect. Like, who cares about car seats? Just chuck them in.
Whack 'em in, no
Yeah,
worries.
I'm not
How
phased.
many can you fit? Yeah.
I don't know. If you got a van, chuck 50,
Pack
and
'em
if you
in.
have to, yeah, just get them in and out.
Do you have a story with the siren, with the evacuation siren?
No,
Any-
well, no, not that I can think of. But I was just thinking, do they go? Because they go to the rugby field, the sports park, don't they?
Yeah, yes.
Is that safe from a
I don't know,
tsunami?
because isn't it by the water?
Yeah, it's pretty flat
So I-
right
I-
up until there, isn't it?
I'm not-
Kindy goes up Centennial Drive, I'm pretty sure.
I
So they
think
all
it's
get packed in
higher.
and
I think
go.
it's higher ground. Is that what it is? Taylor, do you remember that? It's higher ground, eh? The area that they say Moe. Yeah, apparently it's
Oh, higher.
yeah.
So
Is it
it's,
though?
doesn't
Something.
feel that safe to me.
Nah, it
but-
feels all flat. Yeah.
Yeah, waterways is.
It looks pretty flat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the waterways is not far away from there.
No.
Like, and
Yeah.
the kids walk right down past the waterways over the bridge.
So there is information here. Just Jack is with us here today.
Shout out to Jack. Yeah.
Oh, no, I was just I was under the impression it had to be 20 meters above sea level, so that'll be a slow, gradual rise until Moai Park will be just.
What if
above
it's a
level.
really big wave? Like, I don't.
Just go a little bit higher.
Just walk a little bit further.
Then we'll
Make
get
the
a
kids
little
walk faster.
a little 3-piece orchestra like
Right,
Titanic.
yeah. Wow. Thanks, Jack. Shout out to Jack. Yeah, Jack and Taylor, man. Look at that team.
Who is Jack? Christian could let the audience knows who.
Oh, who is Jack? That is my husband. Yeah. Yay.
Teamwork.
Beautiful one that doesn't have a camera on
whatever.
it.
Yeah.
Avoiding the cameras, eh, Jack?
Once again, shout out to Granny for watching the kids for us.
Shout out to
Granny and
Granny.
Granddad.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, and then you finished school, and then you stayed in Whitianga. What was the first job after you finished school?
Oh, I was working at the Whitianga Hotel.
Oh yeah, good
Yep.
old.
So I started
Here
there
we
when I
go.
was
Now we-
16. Just
Really,
being a little
Jess?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. So I actually was working there when I was still at school. So I was
Oh,
just working
sweet.
like after doing the 5 to 9 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then I was just a little glassy, like picking up plates and cups and
Grooving.
washing. Yeah,
Grooving or
yeah,
not?
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
grooving.
It's a
Absolutely.
cool environment for that age, eh? Like, I was the same working in bars and around
Loved
drunkens
it.
and stuff, and you're like,
Loved
this
it.
is pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it. And then I
Who was the manager at the time? Let's see. Let's check your memory.
Oh, can't remember.
Oh, good.
I
Carry
can't
on.
remember.
Carry
It was a
on.
long
Carry
time
on.
ago. It was like a long time ago.
not too long, but it's pretty.
Yeah.
And then what was I doing? I worked there for a long time, and then I went away and did some studying in Auckland and worked in a couple of bars up there.
What were you studying in Auckland?
I did just like a bartending course. So I did bartending course, and then I worked in a bar like serving.
Did you feel like it helped? The course was
It was cool. Like I met some cool people.
Yeah.
Who I don't speak to now. So.
But
But no, it was cool.
They're great.
No, it was cool when I got to work in a bar and serve really cool cocktails, and it was really, really cool. I think back then I remember I was getting paid like $14 an hour though, so
Oh
it was
yeah.
like it was nothing, like
Yeah.
minimum nothing. And then I came back and I ended up working back at the Whitianga Hotel, and I think I might have worked there for maybe a year and a half, and then I ended up running it.
Was it the
for-
time that we met? Probably, yeah.
Probably.
2014. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I remember. That first, because I had the end of a summer here, and then the following on 2014, 15. I think that's when we got that hub that you had, the Whitianga Hotel hub. I
Yeah.
was working at On Fire, and I remember
Yeah.
that you were managing not much after that. So I think that was around
Yeah.
there, 14, 15.
And then I don't think I didn't manage it for that long, and then that's when I ended up moving to Australia after that, I'm pretty sure. So I went straight from doing that to moving to Australia. I worked in a brewery over there, which was super cool.
Yeah.
So I got to like just hang out and drink
What
beer
part
and-
of the process were you into?
So I was mostly just in the bar serving and stuff, but I would help out. We'd do like brewery tours and things on a Sunday. So because we were right next to the hostel, so we'd do like these free brewery tours. So we would just like take people through and show them how it all worked, and show them like hops in there, before the dried format and blah blah blah. And then show them all the the vats and the whatever, and then we do like a beer tasting thing afterwards. So we just get like a jug of each flavour of beer, and then everybody would just like do a taster.
There you go, kids looking for a job. Listen to Jess.
Oh, it was the best. So we would just like sit down with all these cool cats on a Sunday and drink beer.
Nice.
Oh, it was just the best. It was so
We
cool.
had Adam here from Blue Fridge Brewery.
Oh, he's a cool dude, isn't he? He's so cool.
Because
So
again,
cool.
like we chatted about that. He also works at Salt. Maybe you guys worked together for a little bit. Or no, he said the piano bar. But for some reason, I have the impression that
Piano Bar is now where that curry
place is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way
That was
before
cool.
my time here.
remember
I've
that.
only ever known it as the curry place.
Yeah, a few different things in Fijian. And that's why I'm asking you about like these differences, because for me, it's been a while. It's been like pretty much 9 years, 8 years and a half. And so I imagine for you, like watching all these changes. And the hotel was so different, hey?
Yeah.
Like nowadays they're doing a good thing. They're trying to bring different things, but
Yeah.
I think the tourists made the vibe.
Absolutely.
Eh?
And
Yeah.
obviously there's none coming in now because they can't.
Yeah.
So it's a bit harder. And also I think like the rules now are a lot harsher with, shots and all the rest of it. So it just makes it a little bit harder.
What's the thing with shots? What's
I just think that because there was, I don't know what happened 100%, but I think they just had a bit of a drama with people being too intoxicated at some point.
Right.
And then, so they had to sort of dial it back, and then that sort of
Is
takes-
this just at the Whitianga
I think
Hotel
so.
in particular?
I think so. I don't 100% know.
Yeah.
Not
but
that I go and take shots anywhere, but
No,
if
like-
I felt like it, I know when not to go or go.
No, but like this is something that like I'm pretty sure it came to public
Yeah.
that there were some issues in the
Yeah.
hotel, and then they changed the opening hours.
and then,
like
like
there
you
was a-
weren't, you can only come in until this time, and then you're not like if you leave, you're not allowed back in, and da 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 da. da.
Yeah.
So we're really looking forward to having like more places bringing music. And have you been to the Monkey Theater recently?
No,
Do
I
you know what
haven't. I
You
haven't.
should.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The couple running the place, they're super cool.
Cool.
Molly's Kiwi and Casper, he's from New York.
Oh wow.
And they love rock and roll, and
Yeah,
they bring
cool.
They had the burlesque show. I think there's one.
Oh, I saw that there was the burlesque
It's
show
tomorrow.
this
So shout
weekend.
out to Molly and Casper. Burlesque show at the Monkey Theater
Oh,
tomorrow.
that's
Have a look.
cool.
Yeah. They're great.
Awesome.
And they just turned like that front into like a cool. Like,
Yeah, it's a cool
bar.
venue. That I remember when we were back in the hospo days, we were like hiring it out for people's birthday parties because you can go up on the roof and
Yeah.
there's like that sort of little dance floor area. Like it's a cool venue. Very very
I've
cool.
never been in there.
It's
I
cool.
want to go.
Yeah. Because there's the theater,
Yeah.
and then there's a cinema at the back.
Because it's on Cog Hill, eh?
Yes.
Number
And-
18. if you want to know.
Yeah, and they sold the building, so
Oh, yeah.
they're kind of like negotiating to see if they're gonna keep the
Yeah.
bar. I'm pretty sure it's gonna go ahead, but yeah. I just have like great memory, especially because like On Fire was cool at the time where I was working, and Luke's Kitchen was was different. The vibe was different. It's great. It's still fantastic, but it was like
It was
smaller.
different back then, wasn't
Different,
it?
Yeah, look at us. Good old times.
Grown up.
Back in the day.
The good old times back in the days. Yeah. But it was, right? I was talking to Richie last night about it because
Oh,
he still is
cool.
what a guy, eh?
Oh, the best.
Yep.
The best. He's very cool.
Yes. And we were just chatting about it. He's like, oh yeah. I said, man, Jess is coming to the show. He's like, yeah, man, the resistance, like we're still around, man. I'm like, yeah, man, we're still around. And we always talk about that, like how
Yeah.
it's shifting, like it's
Good old days.
yeah. What do we have to do, Jess? What's happening? How do we bring more action to this place?
I don't know if I don't think I can do it anymore. I think I'm just too old.
Like,
God, I got to
it's
go
too
to like.
cold.
We were out the other night having a drink, and it was like our food was taking a little bit long to arrive, and it was 8 o'clock, and I was getting nervous. I was like, I got to go home soon. I got to go to bed. Like
Yeah.
that's just
Wow.
what my life is now. Like
I
it's
wouldn't even. Wow, should I even mention that I don't drink anymore? Look
Oh.
at yeah, it's been a while.
awesome.
What is the
That's
nightlife
awesome.
like here? Like, I don't mean you just said you don't.
I don't really
go
know.
out?
You'd know more than me.
I mean, you go out, but you don't drink.
Yeah,
right?
but for me, it's more about the music.
Yeah.
You know, like so. For example, now we have 2 karaoke nights. You know, like
Wow.
so. Vegas Brown is running on one on Thursday, and then
Smitty's?
at Smitty's,
Yep.
and then there's one at the hotel on Fridays. So like I just go for the fun, like I like to see people, and I like to socialize. So for me, it's more about
Recruit guests for the podcast.
have a look, check the vibe, They gotta do the work, always working.
Imagine if you would, if you still drink, how many people you'd invite.
Man.
Just come next week.
No, and I'll tell you what, like I'm already feeling like what's gonna be, and I told Fabian about that.
Yeah.
Fabian is one of the co-hosts, and we work at the school, and I was telling him, I said, man, be ready because people will come to you, and people start telling me stories. Like they just come to me, hey man, saw you on the podcast, and man, my auntie, man, the other day, and I'm like,
Yeah,
cool, man. Here we go. And I listened, and that's the
so cool.
Yeah, I feel bad to say, hey, like I'm just trying to. No, I'm not trying anything. Actually, tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more about Auntie Lucy.
Yeah.
And little Johnny doesn't have an eye, and then you were traumatized because the dog died. Like it gets like weird, man. But I love it.
Oh, give you some quality content to share.
Yeah.
I know, right? Like maybe for the next shows when we start some different formats, I can use those stories as well. You
Send
never
in
know.
a story you want us to tell.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll write a list
That's a cool one.
Cool pub stories.
Yeah.
Jess, you mentioned the dairy farm.
Oh,
How long did you do that for?
so the dairy farm. So the story with the bike. So that was my partner's dad's dairy farm. So we were living on farm, but my partner was working on the farm, and I just sort of helped out.
Your partner, your current
yeah,
partner.
yeah. So we don't live there anymore, but
Yep.
we were just. So I was just living there and sort of helping out, milking occasionally, and a little bit of.
Is the farm still going? Is the farm still there?
No, it's so. Do you know where the solar farm's going in town? So when you're driving out of town and you go. So do you know where Wade Road is?
I know what Wade. Yeah.
Which
yeah.
way are we driving out of town?
Like towards Aotearoa.
Okay, yep.
Do you know where the Pony Club is?
No. Sorry.
You're super local, Jess. God damn it. Like, man, come on. She can tell the name of the person. The ponytail, Lucy and Clayton.
I don't know. So
Number
anyway,
3?
down there.
I'll Google it later.
Yeah. So
It's just out of town. Yeah,
just out of town.
Yeah.
On the left. Do you know where the?
You are Google.
Gotta clap 3 times. Yeah,
Do you know where you turn right to go into the 309?
Yes. Oh,
So
yes.
just
okay,
back from that,
Yeah.
there's a farm on not the the one closest to the road, but back one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually where the solar farm's going. So that's where my partner used to farm in there. So we lived there for quite a while, and then we moved off the farm. But actually, my job before my current job, I was working on a dairy farm, which was so cool. I loved it.
Yeah?
Absolutely loved it. Yeah. It was,
The dairy farm job or the one? Yep.
the dairy farm. Yeah, the one just before my current job now.
Right. Yeah.
It was very, very cool.
What? Tell me the routine.
Oh,
How is it?
Up at 3 a.m.
yeah.
I'm trying to pick up if you're being ironic or not, but let's go. Let's do. It's also a podcast. Some people are listening to this, so we gotta be quite, informative. We gotta describe things. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
The farm that I was working on is out in Coromandel. So I would leave because normally when you work on a dairy farm, you get given a
live on
house
there,
to live in, which is super easy. You just get up because we were starting at 4:30.
Oh, yeah.
So you get up at 4:25 and just, drive
Roll on
over the
out,
road.
yeah.
Yeah.
The cows don't pick that time, eh?
No,
like you guys do.
No, so they
Jeez.
pick that time because you have to have.
They schedule themselves and just book me in for
Christine took a
4:30.
second. She's like,
I'm
what?
like, what are you talking about? Yeah, book me in for 4:30.
Is it the rooster? Nah, it's the cow.
Oh, no, but they have to, you have to milk them like twice a day.
Yeah, and
Sorry. Carry on, Jess.
Well, the reason they do it that early is because you have to have a certain amount of hours in between.
Right.
So the cows have to eat a certain amount, and they need a certain amount of hours on grass in between. Because we do twice a day.
Is that legally?
Well, I just think it's just
Just
for
to help the cows.
help
Yeah.
the cows, and because if you just milk the life out of them, obviously they're not going to do very well.
Yeah.
But
Then you put a machine on their tits.
Yeah.
Sorry. Carry on.
so yeah, I was getting up at ridiculous. It was
How
like
past early?
yeah, like 10 to 4. Getting up that early, and then driving out to Coromandel, working from 4:30 in the morning till sort of 5:30 in the afternoon. and because it was out in Coromandel, I'd just stay there all day. So I was pretty much on farm like 13 hours a day.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like long days.
Yeah.
And it would work, so 8 days on, 2 days off, and then 9 days on, 2 days off. Yeah, like I was doing like 80, probably 75, 80 hours a week.
How many people were working with you at the time that
There
you can
was-
remember?
So there was the 2 farm owners who just sort of helped out, and then there's a farm manager, and then myself and another guy on the farm.
Not many. Okay.
And I was the only girl, so
Mm.
Wow.
it's cool.
A lot of like
Yeah.
handling things,
Yeah.
carrying.
Driving tractors,
What was the hardest? What was like? Oh man.
Wait, did you grow up with it as well? Like, did you grow up on a farm around farm animals? Cause
Well, sort of. Well, not really on a farm, but I was always sort of, friends with.
accustomed to it.
Yeah, like I've always been around animals, and I've always really liked farms.
Yeah.
I think now that I've done it as a job, I wouldn't do dairy ever again, just because it's just such hard work, and there's so much that goes into it. Like,
Yeah.
the cows need so much food, and they need so much looking after, and then, they have their calves, and then they're straight back in the shed, and then, sometimes they don't keep all the calves. Like, it's such a hard out industry. I just don't think I would do it. I think if I was going to do farming, it would be.
Did you feel bad at some stage of like, oh
would
man,
be
this is
me. I feel
hard to
bad
watch?
for
I always think about the cops, like seeing them
Absolutely.
get, yeah.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Very
eh?
hard, very hard. And we'd have, some that would die, unfortunately, and it's just such a hard thing because,
Yeah.
it's a little fluffy
Yeah.
calf. And
Yeah, and the mum will be obviously sad. You're
yeah, and when we have to, because I started, I think it was halfway through calving. So it's, when you have to take the calves away from their mums, it's pretty sad. Like, you sort of get used to it, which is an
for
awful
the
thing
first
to
little bit, were
say.
you like,
Yeah, literally shed a tear.
yeah, just
like,
crying. I'm
Yeah,
so
they-
sorry.
The animals cry
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And
right,
then,
right.
we'd have to put them in a trailer, and then the mums would just be
Crying.
Oh, so you
crying
would drive
out.
them too, Jess.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So we'd, put them in the trailer, and then we'd drive up the race with these calves, and then their mums would follow us up the race, and just real
Emotional.
Heavy, eh?
hard out.
Have you watched that the documentary Milked?
No,
I still want to watch
You
that.
should.
Mm.
it's on Netflix.
It's on YouTube.
Oh,
It's
cool.
free. Yeah.
Have to have a
Have you heard about it? Do you
No.
even? Okay, so there's this lady. She came to the show. Her name is Amy Taylor, and she's a film director. And so she. It's a beautiful film. Like, well, beautiful. Maybe it's not the word, but like very informative.
Yeah.
and
Eye-opening.
eye-opening is a better word.
I watched
Thank
the
you.
short of it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and what people get confused, a lot of people criticize without even watching the film because New Zealand has this huge dairy farm culture, and it's something that the families are all part of it. You
Yeah.
know, so people, it's very easy for people to demonize whoever is talking about that. But like her take, it's actually different. It's saying the big guys, the big companies take a lot of advantage, and the farmers actually struggle a lot. And just by what you just said, like
Yeah.
8 days in and then 2
It's
off,
lots of work.
Yeah.
Lots of
hours.
work.
And so she talks to a lot of farmers who know people who committed suicide
Yeah.
or go like have
Yeah.
depression and all that stuff, and of course gets to the health as well and the way that the animals are looked after. But eye-opening, I think, it's a great word, because it's easy for people in New Zealand. It's easier for me also to see that because I'm not from here. Like, it seems like it's an American problem,
Yeah.
it's happening over there, like it's, and then you see like, it's actually happening.
Yeah.
just
And
there.
dairy farming is, I think, one of, if not the most dangerous job in New Zealand. I think there's dairy
really?
farming and forestry are right up there, right at the top. Yeah, because there's so much, big machinery and, like on most farms there'll be paddocks, and then down the side there's drains. Like if you drive too fast and you go in the drain and the bike's on top of you,
Yeah.
you dust, Yeah.
Right.
And then no one's around because
that's you.
that's you.
Wow.
And there's tractors and there's all sorts, like big machinery.
Do
You
you
got to
rem-
be so careful.
Were there a lot of cows? Like, was it a big? Or it was
Yeah, I
an-
think
a
we
sh-
were 500.
What?
Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot of cows. So we had two different herds. So we'd have a herd of older cows
Wow.
and then a herd of younger cows. But that's like 500 cows equals 500 calves. So that's the count you have to pick up off the ground. And then I think they were quite good out there. They would keep most of them, like as many as possible. But obviously not all of them, unfortunately.
Right. So there was nothing to do with beef. No, that was just
So
for...
actually, that farm I worked on, they have a runoff which is just up the road, and they keep some beef cows. I think they keep beef cows, or they keep the calves to sell, but mostly dairy. Like mostly, you'd keep some dairy heifer replacements for your older cows that you're getting rid of.
Yeah. Have you ever done any job related to farms? or
No,
anything
because
like
the cows scare me a little.
Fair enough.
that? Especially when they wake you up at 4 a.m.
No, just the,
No.
you know, just the size of them and like how unpredictable they are, and yeah, so no.
Unpredictable.
I don't know, they're a whole animal.
Give that look, eh? Like you don't know what they're
I'm
up
like,
to.
I don't know, they might kick me or
Crazy.
something, so it freaks me out. So
Yeah.
nah,
Crazy.
yeah. We had
Thanks, Christine. That was super cool.
when I was younger, a family friend had a cow, and we were allowed to milk it and stuff. But I think she was just so hand milk it. I think she was just so used to us and people and stuff that it was fine. But you know,
Yeah.
a whole
Especially
lot
the
of
young
them,
ones. Like when you
Yeah.
get new heifers in the shed and they've never been milked before, and they go, "What the heck is this thing you're putting on my
what's happening?
boobies?
So they
Like I'm
freak
not
out?
into this." Oh yeah.
Yeah, see that
Oh.
freaks me out.
And they just
And also, I
kick
feel
and
sorry
it's
for them.
horrific.
I'd just be like, oh, I'll help you escape. I don't know.
I'll let you out. Oh, we'd have because we like when you get bulls on farm, we get the cows in to be milked, and then sometimes the bulls would come up in the where the cow stand. So we'd
Yeah.
have to like get these bulls out. Oh, it was just hard work.
Yeah.
And bulls are super dangerous, like super
Oh, yeah, I bet.
dangerous. So you got to be super careful of
Yeah.
them.
Well,
Because they
you-
just
I mean, I know you're not for all of that because you don't eat. Or,
Nah, not at all.
But have you been on a farm and helped in?
No.
No.
Oh, in Brazil, as a child, like there would be the school trip to the farm, and then you sit on the lap of good old Joseph. You know, he's been doing that for 65 years.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting on his lap is already not great, and then you're holding tits that are not yours.
yeah.
So it was not.
Brazil's wild.
Yeah. So not a great experience, you know. Like, and there's a proper way, right? You gotta.
Yeah, you gotta-
Look at
Yeah.
this. There's a clip. Hey, Leo trying
Yeah,
to
you
make the
gotta-
proper way of holding the
I can't-
tits.
I can't even remember.
Has no clue about holding tits. Hey, Leo, look at you. Has never done it before. Anyway, there's. Jess.
Guys, we've gone south real quick.
Oh goodness.
Thanks, children.
Yeah. Right.
Become a YouTuber. There's a future there. It's a prolific industry. Anyway, I didn't like the experience of going for
Sitting on his lap and
yeah,
milking
good
a cow.
old Joseph's lap and milking the cow. So it was never a thing. And I grew up in the city, like concrete jungle. I was probably bothered about like stepping on grass.
Are you sure you didn't milk Joseph?
Now you grab the tits. I thought I was Joseph. No. Shout
That's
out.
for another show.
Hey, I'm sure there's a picture. I'm not
Oh,
joking
jeez.
because I remember that it was a thing for kindergarten. We would go to the farm, and Lorelai, my sister, if you're watching this, probably not.
Send it in.
Have a
Yeah,
look.
send it
Yeah,
in.
I would love to find that picture. We'll put it on the show because it was a. But yeah, that was a part
Could
of.
use that
like,
picture as the clip.
I know,
for the fun of
right?
this.
Yes, we'll find it. But yeah, it was part of the thing,
Please don't make
introducing.
us thinking we can milk cows a clip, guys.
No,
I'm
that
just
would be
thinking about the clips that we make at the end of the same. Not this.
not
Not all of us trying to milk.
I can't really remember.
Come on, Jess, a pro. We need a pro.
I can't remember. No, I remember like using like two.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great clip.
Yeah, don't make
It's
it
gonna
a
be
clip.
fantastic.
I can't remember. No.
Okay, but like that was not part of the job, right? You would put the machine, and the machine does the thing.
Yeah, so the machine obviously does most of the job, but sometimes you got to milk them out because sometimes cows get mastitis, and you got to milk out all the gross stuff that's in there. So sometimes you have to do it by hand, but more often than not with the cups.
Right. Okay. Christine, no. We gotta do something with like cow. They're unpredictable.
Yeah.
Like we gotta do something about
They
that.
are
It's pretty cool.
unpredictable.
It's pretty cool. I love that. I can see that you're not
Yeah.
comfortable
Yeah,
talking
no,
about
'cause
this.
I feel like they just freak me out. Yeah. It's fine.
That's like a lot of people are the same about.
And horses.
Yeah, I was going to say horses.
Horses freak me
Horses.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a massive
Yeah.
animal.
It's a massive animal.
Yeah.
See, I grew up.
Apparently it's their sneaky feet. From what I've heard in the past, people don't like the sneaky feet.
Yes.
I don't know how they can be sneaky. They've got metal shoes that are stuck to them.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
And the faces, like, they're long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
What a
Cows
show! This is
and
great.
horses.
I'm loving this. Thanks, Jack. Man, God, that was cool. Do you ride? Okay. Do you ride horse?
So I
There you go.
I
That's a
have.
good question.
So actually, I feel like there's a lot of in between because I grew up riding horses. That's always was my thing, and the last time I had a horse was probably only a couple of years ago. So there's a lot of similarities between sort of riding a horse and riding a motorcycle because it's all about balance, and you've got to stay up on top of it. There's a lot of similarities, so I feel
Right.
like that's why I sort of at the start I was very like, oh, this is not for me, but then I sort of was like, oh, maybe I just need to do it like this, and then it all sort of just started to make sense
Yeah.
in my head of what I was doing.
Which one is harder?
Oh, horse, I would say.
Which
Yeah.
one's more
It's got a
expensive?
Because they are unpredictable.
Yeah.
And they've got a mind of their own. Yeah.
Yeah,
They've
see?
got a mind of their
She's
own.
agreeing.
Fantastic. I'm loving this. Jess, you know what I was thinking before? Like before we started the show, like, oh, this is something cool to talk about. Some of the things that you really love in your life. For a lot of people, unfortunately, it sounds like a man thing.
Yeah.
You know, oh, riding the
Yeah.
bike, oh, the
Yeah.
tattoos,
Yeah.
like so. I don't know how do you how do you deal with all those things, like people giving you the look or just thinking like why do you do that? Does it happen to you or you don't even?
Yeah, it does. It definitely happens, but it's just sort of like water off a duck's back for me. Like I'm so used to it because as I said, I've had tattoos for, near on 10 years. So
Yeah.
it's just something that I'm used to, and like people can behave however they want. That's nothing to do with me. Like if you want to be a dick, that's fine. It's nothing to do with me. That's how you are, not how I am.
Yes.
Like if you want to say rude things to me, I don't really care. Whatever makes you happy, live your life.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatevs.
And the mindset, like
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like,
and I know that I'm a pretty good person. Like I'm not a dick, so it doesn't really worry me what anyone else says or what anyone else thinks about me, like at all.
Aw,
So
that's good. Well, I bet mom was always supportive. with-
yeah,
with
she,
the
I mean, she
things.
had her reservations, especially with the bike. Like,
Yeah.
and actually, because my partner's mum rides as well, so she was always like, oh, I don't know, like, but we were always like, well, you ride, so surely it's fine for us
Yeah.
to ride, because she doesn't really like Daniel riding either.
Right.
But Daniel was like, he's just the most responsible person ever.
Aw.
Like he's younger than me. Like I think he's a couple years younger than me.
How do you call that when women go for younger?
Cougar.
A cougar. Hey, so many animals in this show tonight. I'm loving it.
I can't even laugh. I'm 2 years older than him.
Hey, there you go. And Papa is older than me.
Oh my god.
Jack is like, what am I doing here? Why did I take this job? Why did I sign up for this? Right,
It was
right,
the wrong
right.
day to come in,
I
wasn't it?
know it, man.
Or the right day. I mean,
Or the perfect
yeah.
day, yeah.
Right, so mom was supportive and,
Yeah.
and Daniel is a good man. So you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna do my thing, whatever.
and like now I'm obviously so into it. Like there's no way I can hide that and like it's never affected my life at all. Like I've never not got a job or not been able to do something or
Yeah.
because I've got tattoos. Like I feel like how you are as a person and what you bring to life should be more important than what you.
I always thought there was a strange thing when you, like, when people find it hard to be employed because of tattoos. Like, obviously, if it says, like, FUCKU on your forearm, then I would understand, but
Yeah. If it's not like, I mean, I don't think any of my tattoos are offensive.
no,
So
I'm just,
there's a lot.
yeah.
There's
It's like, none of them
There's a
look
lot to take
offensive.
in.
Jess, never asked you. Is your father alive?
He's not.
He's not.
No, he's not. He died when I was young, 10.
Young, 10.
Yeah, very very young.
Right. Do you have clear memories?
No,
of
I
that?
didn't really know him very well.
Right.
Yeah, so he and my mum were obviously together until I think I was about 2.
Right.
And then my mum and I moved here, and he stayed. Like I saw him occasionally, like not very often, but yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never like made a. It was never a problem to not have dad there because mom is so on top of it. Saying mom is great.
No, I mean I had a pretty casual childhood. Like mum was very cool. Like and now that I'm older, I appreciate my mum so much because she
She's the coolest.
Oh, she's the coolest.
Yeah.
You know my mum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's so cool.
I always make the same joke. I'm like, well, I know that there's not much hair left, but can you do something about it? And she smiles and she does.
Yeah.
Oh, so your mum's a
hairdresser. Yeah, she's the coolest.
Did you get some of that talent for yourself?
No, I always thought about being a hairdresser, but I just it never eventuated to anything. I always thought about, maybe mum would like it if I was a hairdresser, but then that's her thing. It's not my thing.
Because I remember when you shaved your head.
Oh yeah.
And you had a wig for a little. That was the coolest. I was so surprised. I was like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. I did that not too long ago. First lockdown, I shaved my head again.
wow.
Yeah. Yep. I got it shaved in the back as well.
There you go.
Oh yeah, how nice is that when it's summer and you've got like an undercut?
So good.
Love it.
So
Except
good.
I just don't like the grow out period when you
No.
like got 100 bobby pins.
Yeah, I didn't think about that when I did that. No.
And that's the thing with like the empowerment that like I always like to talk about. That's why I brought it up. The thing with like, how do you feel about doing these things? And people say, it's a man thing, whatever. Because I think if you explain that well, if there's the proper education, if the girl is feeling inspired and empowered, like nothing.
And it doesn't
will
have to
stop
be a
her,
man
right?
thing. Like when we go riding, sometimes there's, I mean, not very often, honestly, but there's sometimes girls that either leave from here or they meet us over in, somewhere by Thames and they come riding with us. Honestly, there's not many. Like I think I've only ever been on a ride with like 2 other girls.
Yeah.
Who are riding their own bikes, not on the back of their partner's bikes, but it's cool. Like I love it when other girls come on the rides. Like it's so cool. So cool because like you have someone to talk to, and not that I can't talk to the guys of course, but
I know
like
what
a
you
girl
mean.
to talk to about whatever.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Hey, yeah.
It is pretty cool. Yeah.
That's cool.
I feel like that's with with the drumming classes sometimes. Like when a girl is taking drum classes or whatever. Like I know that there's nothing wrong that people would say, oh yeah, it's a boys thing, but just that idea of like feel empowered, like love this, like do never care about what's happening, what people are saying.
Totally.
If you love it, it's a passion.
Totally.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I feel like people, like nowadays, people care so much about what other people are saying and what other people are doing. Like, just who cares?
Do you feel
Live your
like,
best life, man.
Yeah, true. Do you feel like it's a small town mentality, or it applies to everybody, especially now with social media and people are checking everything?
And I think people find it hard because I noticed young people now, because they just spend so much time looking at their phones, they find it hard to talk to people. Like I notice when I don't speak to many young people, but like whenever because I drive the Courier, whenever I go to a house and there's a young person and I'm like, hey, how are you? It's like, good. That's it. And I'm like, oh, cool. All right, I'm good too. Thanks, bye.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just
they don't want to
package.
have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
Do you get, as a courier driver, do you get so many people run out like, it's here?
Oh,
Oh my goodness, because it's me. I'm like
my
waiting
God.
at the door.
And
like,
people go,
it's
what
here.
is it? And I'm like,
You're like,
I didn't open it.
I don't know.
how about I wait here and you open it and you tell me what it
Yeah. Or like people will run out, like say I'll park in front of like house number 15 and someone from 17 will come out and be like, have you got anything for me? And I'm like,
Did I
no,
park at your
otherwise I
house?
would have parked in front of your house.
Yeah.
Like,
And it would have been harder with COVID because obviously you guys were allowed to still work during it, but you have
Yeah.
to keep your distance. You're
Yeah.
like,
stay away from me.
yeah, let me put it down and I'll
Yeah.
drive away and you come get it.
Yeah, we're quite lucky though because there's a system for that. Like you don't have to. Normally people would sign on a little machine, but now
Yeah.
you just have to like see someone, so you can go up to the door, like someone can wave at you from inside and you just put the parcel down and leave.
Yeah.
Right. Is that the New Zealand Post or that PB something?
New Zealand Post.
New Zealand
You're like
Post.
the adult ice cream man.
Yeah, people are never sad to see me come.
No,
Yeah, never sad to see me arrive with your parcels.
Yeah. I always feel like the postie man's judging me.
Honestly,
The amount
like,
of packages we get sent to our house, I always feel like he's judging me. Jack, close your ears. We don't order that much online.
You get to know the things, Jack, when it comes to the show. See
Yeah.
it. You get to find out about.
I've had them turn up, and there's a package that turns up at the door, and the postie's actually been like, "Can I see what's inside? Because the package looks so cool." I did.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was like a neon light, but he was really impressed.
Nice. Okay, Jess. No names. Have you come across something funny that you were like, oh, look at this. This must be some. Oh no, you. Oh yeah. Come on, Jess.
well,
Come
I
on.
mean, we do get like some, like some things that come from some naughty websites.
Oh,
adult mega
great.
store.
Yeah. Like and like
Names?
sometimes a package will like
names.
just
What
vibrate.
names of the website?
Man.
Vibrate in the
Ah.
van or something. Yeah, and you'll go,
Yeah.
I know what that is.
Yeah.
They
Or
also-
like
yeah.
something
Like,
that you
do know
feel
what?
the
I'm
package.
gonna hand it to the customer and be like, yeah,
Yeah.
There you go.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
vibrating.
Look them in the eyes.
Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Theunpredictable.com. That's in the package.
Yeah, unpredictable.
Actually, I had one that was for, I can't remember what it was for, but it was like, the website was Naughty Knobs.
Hey.
And I was like, oh my goodness. And it was like, the shape of a, know. And I was like, oh, I wonder what that is. So I Googled the website thinking it's going to be like a sex store shop, but it's actually like car exhaust, like that you put inside your car, like on your gear stick. It was like those things. And I was like, I was
You're like,
No.
Yeah. Wait, straight to the gutter.
Yeah. And because it was like the right shape. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, I see you. Yeah, all right.
And is it the one that it's mainly girls doing the thing? Because I noticed in town that the van is usually a girl driving. Is it the one or maybe
I mean,
not?
we've got all girls except for my
that's right.
my boss and her partner, or her husband. Sorry, obviously he's a guy, so he's the only guy who works doing the courier, like in our department. But I think NZ Couriers has got a couple of guys that do the runs.
Right.
Yeah, we're all girls.
It's so cool, eh?
Yeah.
It's great when these things happen, like people
Girl power.
Yeah. It's the same thing with the tradies. Like friend of ours, she's doing the scaffolding now.
Cool.
And I'm like,
That's another one, like female
Yeah.
tradies. I
Get
think
it.
that's cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
cool.
Gotta, it's for everybody,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like,
Absolutely.
just learn.
Absolutely.
And it's physical, right? You out there, you're doing
I
something.
think it's even like if you go the opposite way when you have stay-at-home dads and you get the dads at the bus stop and you get dads
Yeah.
at school doing drop-off and
Cool.
pick-up and stuff like that, because normally it's always mums, but it's cool when you have the
Yeah.
dads at home and the
Yes,
mums,
absolutely.
Absolutely. Mum's been the breadwinner.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yes.
Dad's taking care of stuff at home.
Do you feel like having a family one day? Do you have that mom thing? Or no? I know that is not a great question. I'm sorry, but
I don't know. Maybe.
yeah.
Maybe one day. For right now, definitely not.
Definitely
I'm
not.
definitely on team no for right now. But maybe one day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see myself as being very motherly, but like I don't really have any friends that have kids, or I don't really know anyone that's got kids. So
Do
I
you
don't.
live in Fitzyounger? God damn it! I cannot think of a person without a child
I
in
know.
this town.
I don't have many friends though. So
Oh, shit! Now I'm feeling bad. Guys,
Put it
watching the
down.
show, get in touch with Jess
Yeah.
She
and
was-
the partner.
yeah.
Go play some board games or
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah.
Bring your kids.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Bring your kids.
Oh
Bring your
no.
kids.
Oh, you
Shit.
can't go to the pub with the kids. No, I suppose.
I
you could.
know. Yeah, it depends. They might not give you the best look.
And I feel like kids are really expensive, right?
Are they, Christine?
Hit and miss.
Hit and miss?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes things are expensive and busy. Like at the moment, it's winter sport.
Mm.
So you got like uniform and football boots.
And I suppose for each kid you
travelling
need
and-
a uniform and school stuff, and
yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
you can you can make it expensive for yourself.
Yeah, totally.
But then it's it is what it is. It's
Mm.
not like you're buying their whole things they need all at the same time. So
Is
you figure it out.
do you guys do those things of like, oh yeah, your brother used to use this, now it's your turn, or it depends
There's
on what?
things I would do, like shoes. If they grow out of it too quickly, then the next one can have them in like jackets and stuff. But we have a girl and then a boy and then another boy. So
Right.
yeah, we just give away clothes. We get given clothes. So, but you can make it expensive for yourself if you're like, no, I don't wear secondhand clothes.
I suppose just like there's a bike community, there's probably a community of mums who all want to like pitch in and help each other and
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. So
yeah. So I mean, when you have babies, you'll probably find some mum friends.
Babies.
Or baby. Who knows?
Settle down.
Yeah.
You
It's a scary thought for me. Honestly, it terrifies me.
You're like,
going from one baby,
no.
suddenly 3.
Like we had a dog, and I was like, "This is so hard. Like I can't even do this."
Yeah, pets are harder. Like we've got 3 kids, but we've got 2 cats, and pets are hard.
Yes. Wait. Wow. Something just came here to me.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
You mentioned a dog. Was it a story that you picked up a dog and you gave the dog back? Wasn't it? Wasn't it you?
We had it. No.
think
That's
was
right.
that
That was
right?
it. Yeah, that was at
Yeah.
that house. So I got that dog. I remember that. I got that dog, and no, because she had it for a long time, and I think like it had happened before. Like someone had bought it and given it back, and I didn't know that. So I got that dog, and it was like so used to being with the lady it came from, and she obviously, I think she was a stay-at-home mum or whatever. She just was at home with the dog all the time, and I was a working person. So I got this dog, and I tried to make it work, and it just was so bad.
work.
Oh, it was so bad. Like just hit under the couch the whole time.
Yeah.
And I said to this lady, "I'm really sorry. Like this is not working out." She's like, "Oh, it's fine. I'll just come and get him." And I was like, "Okay."
Aww.
So I was
Yeah.
lucky actually to get out that one.
And then you had more dogs after that.
Well, that was when I was young, like probably.
I said
18.
that it just came to me. You mentioned dogs.
Yeah. My partner and I, when we were out on the dairy farm, we got a dog, and then she was used to the farm, like 90 hectares, just go wherever she wanted. And then we moved into town to like a 400 square meter section, and she just like chewed the weatherboards and dug holes, and she was very, very naughty, and I just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
So actually my partner's dad took her, so we still got to see her eventually, but I think she's gone to somewhere else now. I don't actually know. But yeah, she was so naughty, but
So no dogs in
No
the pet
dogs.
showing?
no, we got a cat though.
Oh yeah, cats just do their own thing.
Oh, so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm definitely team cat. Not team dog.
Are you? Which
I've
team?
got 2 cats.
Two.
Yeah.
Team cat.
Yeah. So we've got.
We're all team cat here.
yeah.
That's good. That's good. I rescued my cat from the Lost Spring.
Oh.
Yeah,
What's your
that's
cat's name?
Well, Jay, but
Jay.
yeah, in the document is Janie Jones, her
Yeah,
full
Janie
name.
Jones.
Janie Jones. Yeah, but for
nice.
the friends
That's very
call her
formal.
Jay. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's super friendly. Yeah, she's
Oh.
great. So it's been with me for maybe almost 6 years now.
Oh, that's
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, 5 or 6 years. And yeah, it's funny. We were talking about that last night. Like, it feels like the cat owns you. Like it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
you who's in charge. It's just
I know. Well,
Feed me.
I have to buy certain food for my cats because they're so fussy.
really.
And I feel silly at the supermarket because you're like looking, you're like, oh, they don't eat that one, they don't eat that one. And then you have someone else next to you doing the same thing, like, oh, you can't get that. Oh, they don't like gravy, they don't like jelly.
My
Wow.
mum said to me, I get my cat these treats, and they feed it with the cat biscuit. So I tried it, and now he doesn't eat anything else
Yeah.
other than
Aw.
these freaking fancy cat treats.
You
So
like
just
damn it.
such a rookie mistake.
Yeah. Cats are so fussy. I can't believe how fussy our cats are. Like, it's crazy.
Hey Taylor, you didn't. Oh, do you want to say something?
Normally, pets follow just what the owners are, isn't it?
I was waiting. We knew it was coming.
And I would like to say as well that your cat's the only cat that is chased by birds.
Like, your cat gets chased by birds. Man.
It does, yeah.
It's funny.
I didn't realize that there are so many comments on our
Oh.
chats. So
Is there?
Some answer about the kiwi fruit?
Yeah. Sorry.
Any answers about kiwi fruit?
Well, I'm trying to read the top one, Taylor, that Matt sent, but for some reason there's something covering. He
They're
said
tuning
something
in.
shameful, blah blah blah. Can you guys read that? I don't know, for some reason it's. Oh wait. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we have some different comments here. So there's one right at the start of the show. Matt Cook. Hey, Matt. Hi. The way we waste food across the world just because it doesn't look quite right is shameful. We could feed millions who are struggling at home and abroad. So that's pretty much why I mentioned that. You know, like I'm not here to raise you know, things that I'm not sure about it, but I'm sure that you're right, Matt. You know, you know, like I cannot blame the place who produces this because there's obviously a demand in the legislation that is shameful. You're right about how things operate, but yeah, man. And another thing that every year I have to do something about it. Now with ALTBAYS, we have to do something about it. The waste of food, like, you know, a lot of houses have beautiful citrus trees, and it's just rotting.
They just
there,
fall
you
off
know?
and rot on the ground.
So so like we have ideas to try to do something about it. Maybe it is the time because now we have the platform, so we can reach more people.
Absolutely.
Okay, don't forget to share. Yeah, the revolution won't be televised. It will be live streamed at ALTBAYS channel. Great, I love this. Thank you. And then we have a comment from Blueberry Co.
Oh,
Hey.
hey, Chloe.
Love the Friday show team. Feels like drinks with friends. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And then Jason from CFM says, totally. Shout out to Jason. Matt is in Germany. So he said, well, just gone 9 a.m. here. So more of a good breakfast club for me. Great. Okay. We need a drum. Blah, blah, blah. Don't be shy. Okay, so I got the same vibe with tattoos moving from Australia. It feels way more acceptable in New Zealand, and now I want more.
Yeah.
No.
Feel that.
Shout out. Dane Doom. Hello, locals. What are the 2 main things you should never do on a motorcycle, and what's your favorite tattoo? Great question.
I would probably never ride Personally, I would never ride my motorcycle. I mean, I'd ride it around town without my jacket on, but I would never go on a long ride without protective gear on.
Yeah.
I can't think of another thing.
That's a good one already.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and just be safe. Like, you know, people in cars don't care about you on your motorcycle. Like, you know, just be aware of everyone. You've got to always be just be so aware of your surroundings and, you know, and just people in cars, like, watch out for motorcycles.
there you go. Watch out for motorcycles. Be kind, hey, people.
And your favorite tattoo?
Ooh,
Favorite
avocado?
tattoo? Yes, please. Yes.
it's one of my favorites. Oh, God. I don't know if I have a favorite. I've got quite a few favorites. I mean, I've got
Let's
a
go
tattoo
for the few
with
ones,
my
yes.
mum's name on it, on my arm, which I really like. I've got a big wolf on my right thigh, which is really cool. I've got quite a few. I like quite a few of them.
What is the one on your thigh?
It's a wolf, like a big wolf face. Yeah, it's quite cool. I got actually, when I was working at the hotel, all the regulars like pulled together money for a tattoo voucher, and they gave it to me. I think it was for my 21st birthday. And they're like,
Cute.
yeah, I got
Yeah.
a tattoo. It was
That's
really cool. Really,
That is
really
cool. Okay. Again, so many cool comments. George Smith, hello guys, awesome show. Thanks, George. Robo4 says, Jess is the resistance for sure.
Yeah, rock and roll.
And George is laughing. Oh no, someone's saying for a vegan that loves to work in the dairy industry. I hope you watched the whole thing and realized that there was a bit of a sarcasm there.
Yeah.
Hanako. Hi, Hanako. What are some things you should consider when riding a motorcycle? And what's your favorite motorcycle brand? Was it the Harley Always a Dream, or there's any other ones that you would go for?
Or I think a Harley's probably a good starting point. I think if I get another when I get another bike, it'll probably be my Harley, but the 1200 version, which is the same but just a little bit bigger, a little bit more power. Or I've been eyeing up like a Indian motorcycle, but they're really, really expensive. They're like way out of my price range.
It's a Lotto win bike.
Yeah. There's mini bikes, but I mean I really love my bike. I won't sell it until I find something that I really, really love. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then we just have a couple of other comments from I think it's Mel Y. Hi, Jess. Having a good laugh along with you guys. Also, Eleanor is the bomb.
Is that that's my mum.
Hey, Mom. Yeah. Come on, tell us about your 250 Yamaha.
Oh, Yamaha Dragstar it was.
Yeah.
So looks like
Thanks, Jason.
just a little bike, like, you know, little 250, but looked like a big bike. So it looked the part as, you know, as being a big bike, but just didn't have the juice behind it. Yeah, it was super cool. Like, I was really, really sad to sell it. But I think when I sold it, I had intentions to get a bigger bike, but I don't know, something came up and I never got around to it.
Yeah.
And then probably lucky that I didn't get another bike, because then I probably wouldn't have got my Harley. So.
Do you name your bike? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Like,
my
what's your
bike
bike's
has a name. My bike's called Peach,
Peach.
but it's blue, so I don't
Yeah.
really know.
Doesn't
Oh,
Makes sense.
Beach. Yeah,
Is what it is.
okay. Oh, nice. Did you name it? Did you come up with
I
it?
did name it.
Yeah.
Just came to me one day.
What's your partner's bike's name?
Oh, I don't know. His bike's
God.
quite new though.
Oh.
His bike's
Okay,
quite
okay,
new, and we've
okay.
only been on like a few rides, so
yeah. Maybe he
haven't
hasn't
quite got
given a name yet.
Yeah, I might have to ask him when I get home what his bike's called.
It will
Daniel,
come,
if you're
it will
watching, what's your bike called?
Yeah.
come. Come on, Daniel, send us a comment.
Chuck it on YouTube.
I think I read it, bro. Oh, no, Jason just said, so I kind of have the 1100 version of that bike, Jess.
1,100.
That must be...
That's a big boy bike.
It's a big boy bike.
Yeah.
Jason, my man. Oh, yes.
I hope you ride it responsibly.
Oh, he's a very responsible guy. So, Jason from Coromandel FM.
Oh, very cool.
Cool, man. Yes.
Very, very cool. I'm going
Um,
to see you in 2 weekends. Fireworks at 10 a.m. Not
Oh.
this weekend, but the following.
Oh,
if
there
it's
you
not
go.
raining.
he's in Australia. He's coming to but
I will not see you.
he's coming to New Zealand pretty soon, which is great. He's a good man.
Cool.
Looking forward to seeing him. Jazz, you look happy working for the New Zealand Post. Would you consider going back to the bars, to the
No.
hospitality life?
No,
No, not
definitely
right now.
not.
Nah.
Nah. I love my job. I just love it. Like, I've never done it before, and it's so cool. Like, and my boss is like the coolest. Like,
Yeah.
hi. No, it's really cool. Like, it's such a cruisy job. But when I started, because I've lived here for so long, I thought, man, how am I gonna learn all these streets? Like, how am I gonna learn where all this stuff is and all these numbers? Because some streets are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sequentially, and then some are evens on one side and odds on the other. So you just sort of got to get used to it. But now that I've done it for maybe only 3 months now, I do the
sweet,
same
yeah.
run like every day. So
Right.
I just pretty much go to the same places.
Yeah.
And
Is there a thing sorry, that you have to finish that amount of deliveries per day, or you can wait to the next day? Like, how does it usually work?
so in the morning we get like a truck that arrives with all our parcels for the day, and then we put them into sections, and then we try and clear the floor every day. So I think there's like maybe 10 or 12 or between maybe between like 10 and 15 different sections of like like say Buffalo Beach, and then up Centennial, and then over in Simpsons Beach. So everybody, you put all your parcels in your van, and then you do your run, and then sort of go on to the next thing. But I do the town side streets in the morning, and then after that I'll go Buffalo, Centennial, Simpsons Beach, and then I do like the far end of Cook Drive. So that's like your I don't know if you guys know Marlin Wells, all that past the highway that comes in on the left hand side. And then I'll do usually like Whitby, Springbok area, and then I'll do sort of up Cook Drive between New World and the highway. I'll
Yeah.
do that, and then I'll do Jackman and sort of Park Lane area, and that's usually what I do.
Right.
And then there's quite, obviously there's the rugby club area, and then there's Robinson, and then there's the waterways, but we only do Whitianga, so it's pretty easy.
Oh,
Once you know what you're doing, it's pretty easy.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
Don't have to finish at 2 a.m.
No,
Clean a little bit of vomit, a little bit of blood. Oh, sorry, when you're drinking water. Look at my comments.
What time do you
Fantastic.
like? What time do you start?
7:30.
Oh, that's not too bad. Either.
Yeah, and like we finish today. I finished at 3, and yesterday I finished at like 2:30.
Sweet.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
It's just they're going like these people are going talking about music while riding. I listen to CFM loudly in my helmets. I
Yeah.
ride to and from work daily and have awesome speakers in my helmets. And
Cool.
then Matt said, when I rode, if I had music in my ears, I rode like an idiot. Death metal and bikes are not always a good mix.
No.
I'm loving this chat tonight, guys. People are like watching, laughing with us and going hard. Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, no more bar life enough. Leave it. Nah.
I don't think so.
Nah.
I don't. No, I because my partner works in the daytime as well. So if I worked at night, I would probably never see him.
Yeah.
Because I would get home and then, I would be home all day and he would be at work, and then when he got home, I would be going to work. And it just
Yeah.
not wouldn't work for us.
You had your fun, had your time, and then
yeah.
time for something.
I mean,
new.
I did a shift at Smitty's. Oh, it was a while ago now, and people were just so rude, and I just can't.
You're like, no, I'm out.
Yeah, when I was working it as my full-time job, I was real polite, but I just I can't deal with people being rude to me. I just am I'm not about it. I'm like, if you want to be like that, just go away from me.
Yeah.
I'm not into it.
And I think the team you guys had at the time that you were at the
top
hotel
notch.
was solid, eh? Yeah, I always say that year was pretty special, eh?
Yeah.
Like the groups and the workers at the bars around town. It was so cool, eh? It was such a good vibe, so that helps,
It
eh?
was very cool back then.
The good old
I
days.
think it's a Jess partner. I'm not sure. The Game of Life is the name of the channel, and he's saying my bike name is Jess. I'm suspicious it is him. Yeah.
There you go, my man. Yes,
Aw.
decided to show up. Hey, Daniel, my brother.
Oh, funny.
Jess, this is so cool. This is great. Thanks for coming.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
This is fun. Do you wanna say something to the beautiful people? You sent a good message. Drive carefully. Pay
Yeah.
attention to the bikers.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
If you're gonna ride a bike, be safe. Be cool.
Yes. And if the kids come, if the teenagers come with ideas to get tattoos,
Oh.
what?
Oh, maybe just think about it. Just think about
No
it a little bit
regrets.
longer.
No
No
regrets.
regrets.
No regrets. Yeah, no regrets.
No regrets.
Cool, kids. So there you go. Got some instructions there for you. No tattoos at an early age. Riding the bike carefully.
Wear a helmet.
Don't trust
Wear
cows.
a helmet. Don't trust cows. That's the
Unpredictable.
that's the
Unpredictable
bet.
cows.
Christine, it's gonna be such a good
I'm
yeah.
so not looking forward to watching Facebook
Oh,
tomorrow.
don't worry. It's gonna be great. It might be on
You might be
TikTok.
like, why
No,
don't you trust cows? Because I don't.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
Yeah.
Christine, what a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for dragging Jack in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, Taylor.
Whoop, whoop.
Yay.
All good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe another time soon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jazz, next time we bring some of the old school people to
Yeah.
share some stories.
Yeah, it'd
from
be
the
cool
good
if
old
Richie
times.
was here.
I know,
Cool
right?
to have some yarns.
I had a chat with him last
He's a
night.
cool- he's a cool guy.
We're brewing some ideas. I'm sure he's gonna have some stories to share, right?
He's a cool guy, that one.
Yes.
Very, very cool.
And-
Chloe would probably have some good stories too.
Yes. We have to be careful with Chloe.
Oh,
and she
yeah.
knows
Yeah.
she's like, it's actually good that I'm a co-host. I'm not sure if I would be good as a guest. I was like, yeah, let's keep it. Let's hold it. But thank you so much. Send my love to Mom,
Will do.
to Daniel. Thanks, Christine.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jess. Thank you for watching the ALTBAYS Show. So just a reminder, on Monday, we have Sandra Gowdy, the mayor, the Thames Coromandel District mayor, coming for a chat. If she doesn't cancel, then it's not our problem. Right? But she won't. We had a chat and she's keen. So jump on the live stream, send a question, okay? Let's make it a cool interactive show with her. We go live 3 times per week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. This platform is growing. The best way to support us is to hit the subscribe button. It really helps us. It means that more people get notifications, so the algorithm plays on our side and spreads the news about what we're doing. Okay, this is this is something that we decided to do because we really like this community. I've been here for almost 9 years. Taylor's been here for, I think, 7.5, almost 8 years. And there's a bunch of interesting people here, and we want to bring more interesting people from out of the Coromandel, so we get more events, more shows, more cool things happening. So if we work together, we're gonna make Coromandel even better. Wow, that was good, eh? God
was good.
damn, modest.
Wow.
Shit. I'll see you on Monday. Ciao.
Bye.
That was good. ALTBAYS.
ALTBAYS.